Have you ever stopped to think about how strange silent letters are in English? Why do we write them if we don't pronounce them? Words like night, honest, or even salmon are everyday examples of silent letters causing confusion. But what's the story behind them, and how do you pronounce these tricky words correctly? Let's start with one of the most famous silent letters, the K, in words like knife and knock. Why is it there? These words come from Old English, where the K was actually pronounced. Over time, as the language evolved, the pronunciation softened, but the spelling stuck. So now we don't say knife, just knife. Isn't it funny how language keeps its history even when we've moved on? Then there's the silent H in words like honest or hour. Why does the H get skipped? The answer lies in French influence. When the Normans invaded England in 1066, they brought their language with them, which heavily influenced English pronunciation. The French didn't pronounce the H in certain words, so we don't either. Strange, isn't it, how a centuries-old invasion still shapes the way we speak today? How about the silent B in subtle or det? This one's a little different. The B was added back into these words during the Renaissance, when scholars decided they should reflect their Latin roots. For example, det comes from the Latin word debitum, but the pronunciation didn't change, so now we write the B, but don't say it. Talk about a spelling puzzle, and let's not forget salmon. That sneaky silent L trips so many people up. Here's a tip. It's pronounced salmon, not salmon. The L was never pronounced, but some people try to overcorrect because it's there in the spelling. It's a classic example of English just keeping us on our toes. But why do silent letters matter? They can make English harder to learn, but they also add character to the language. They show us where words come from, their journeys through history, and the influences of different cultures. Isn't that fascinating? So how do you navigate silent letters? And the best way is to listen and practice. Pay attention to how native speakers pronounce words. And don't be afraid to look things up if you're unsure. English may be tricky, but it's all about patterns, and silent letters are just one of its quirks. Next time you see a word like night or det, remember, the letters may be silent, but their history speaks volumes. Isn't that worth appreciating?